Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of the Rookies podcast. Today we have a footy-based episode. It's been a long time coming since we had this one. We got a lot of hot topics to talk about and a lot of drama is coming probably. As you guys can see, we're on video this time, so that's great. Niko, how
Why
you
do you have
been?
a little smirk right now?
Yeah, I'm just excited to talk about what
Yeah,
what, what
you
we're
you
gonna
know
talk about.
there's a lot of hot topics, that's why.
I pretty much just want to listen to you rant.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna enjoy
Yeah,
that.
it's nice to be back doing another footy episode.
Yep.
And yeah, there's a lot of stuff to cover today. So yeah, I think we should get straight into it, not waste any time.
All right, lad.
Yeah.
So I guess the one of the bigger topics, like since the last time we spoke about footy, not me and you, but on this channel, is
Yeah.
the UCL final.
hmm
So Man City obviously got their treble. I think it was something that was gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, pretty
Uh,
much.
they're just too good, and yeah, I mean Rodri's goal. It was kind of a boring final. Like it wasn't too crazy, but I
Yeah.
think I think that's just Inter, uh, boring it up. No.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be too like harsh on them, but yeah, like what can you say? Like the level between the two teams are just like
Yeah,
two
yeah.
two di- like two different planets. Like it's night and day. There is to be said though that I thought it would have gone a lot worse for Inter. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what you thought going
No,
into
I
the
did
game,
too.
but I thought it was gonna be like a 5-0 trashing. I really had no hope for Inter to like put up a fight, and they did. So at
Yeah.
least look, you can give them that.
They
But
almost tied it
yeah,
at the end.
and then Lukaku
Lukaku.
was in the way. But yeah, uh, no, I think they did put up a bit of a fight more than what we were thinking would happen.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
but ultimately, like you can see the quality difference.
Yeah.
Um,
Not even close.
yeah.
Man City can just keep the ball with so much ease, and Inter kind of just like trying to get the ball the whole game.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're right. I wouldn't say I was expecting 5-0, but like I wouldn't be like so shocked.
Yeah, I
I
thought
wouldn't be like crazy shocked about that. But yeah.
that kind of looked like where it would head, but I guess it didn't.
Another weird thing about that game was De Bruyne being injured again in another UCL final. He was injured in the last one against Chelsea where like Rudiger like broke his face,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
happened. And so he had no chance of playing there. But then this one, I forgot what happened. Like, how did he get hurt? He had like a leg problem
Um,
or something.
yeah, something with his leg muscle, if I'm not wrong.
So
Something
he's just
about,
allergic in the Champions League finals.
yeah. I think he
Unlucky to
had like
him.
a strain or something, or like a
Yeah,
hamstring
probably.
problem. I
It
don't
looked
know.
like a muscle thing.
He
But that
like
just shows you
pulled
how much depth they have.
yeah.
When De Bruyne's
Even
like, I
without
can't
him,
play.
who came on? Was it Foden who came
I think
on?
it was Foden, yeah. So then they had
Yeah.
Foden, Gundogan, and Rodri in the midfield. That's a pretty good
Yeah.
midfield.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like you lose a lot.
Yeah,
You do lose
exactly.
a lot of quality, but
They just have so much depth that it almost doesn't even matter.
yeah, when you
Guardiola's
have
like another
Foden,
chance for another player.
you take out De Bruyne, you have Foden coming in. It's like you lost not much, but yeah.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
we already know this about Man City, and
Yeah,
they just keep building their team stronger and stronger. And
it's
we're
just
gonna
about
talk
time they
about
won.
yeah, we're gonna talk about like other players that they're gonna buy later on in the episode
Yeah.
because they want to make it even stronger. So yeah,
All right. So a lot of people have been talking about this recently, and I kind of see both sides of this, but the Guardiola and Mourinho debate. So Mourinho, we didn't mention Mourinho, couldn't win in the Europa League finals against the Europa League merchants in Sevilla.
yeah.
Um, but a lot of people have been talking about who's the better manager. All right, Guardiola or Mourinho. I don't know what your side is, but what's your side?
Uh, I'm on Guardiola's side. I
Why?
just think like the success that he has had, it's like incomparable to Mourinho or any other manager. I know Mourinho's won a lot. You know, Mourinho also has a trouble with Inter, but Isn't this Guardiola's third treble?
I think like
One
so.
with Barca, one with Bayern, and
I
now
don't
one
think
with
he won one
City.
with Bayern because they didn't win the Champions League.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
No,
They
that's what
didn't?
that's the thing everyone keeps throwing on Guardiola. Oh, he couldn't win it with Bayern,
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, two is
but
still
two trebles.
impressive.
Yeah.
Two is still impressive. It's not
Yeah.
like it makes a big difference. And it's not just trebles. I'm not even like when I think of the discussion between those two or any other pairing, I don't I don't include like um trophies that they've won over like how their team actually performs because I
Yeah.
think the way Guardiola's teams perform, all of them,
It's
every
so
team he's been
impressive.
on,
Yeah.
it's like it's so good, like the way they play, the way they keep possession, the way they create chances, they score so
Yeah.
many goals. Like the philosophy that he brings to the teams is like better than anyone else that I've seen.
And also, like, think about this. Before, when he coached Barcelona, everyone would say, like, when someone's playing good, they say, oh, they're playing like Barcelona.
Yeah,
Then, like, later on, Bayern become, like, the best team in Europe for a bit when he was there. And
yeah,
then now everyone's going to say, oh, they're playing like Man City because now they're the best team. So,
yeah.
like,
That's what everybody says now.
he has that, like, print on football where, like, he kind of changes the game, kind of.
Yeah,
With all his tactics and obviously the players he brings in. But the one thing I can say about Mourinho is like he's done it with like teams that shouldn't even be in conversation. Like he won the Champions League with Porto. Uh, I don't remember the last underdog to win a Champions League.
yeah, no.
Um, and
Maybe
then
like
yeah,
back in the day.
like European Championship. That's what it
Yeah,
was called, right?
yeah.
So there's that. But one thing I'll say, like, and you mentioned the trouble with Inter, obviously, but one thing I'll say is, I don't think if you switch both their roles, neither of them could do it. Like, if you give Mourinho like a crazy skilled team where his philosophy is more like team play, but not like possession team play, kind
More
of.
defensive.
Yeah, you always see those like more of a team effort defensively. Yeah, you don't see like I mean I guess when he coached Real Madrid is a bit different because he had all those stars, but like he wasn't able to win a Champions League there,
Hmm.
and so but I don't think Guardiola could do it with the weaker teams like with the Porto or with an Inter.
Yeah.
But
You know,
it just complements their style more.
yeah, you know what my take on this is? Like ultimately I think Mourinho it's just a thing of like how their philosophies are. I think Guardiola's more attacking football, more possession and counterattack and fast play,
Yeah,
like that tiki taka
yeah.
type of play. And Mourinho's more like grit and defense and also kind of possession, but like really like a strong
It's
team.
just more grittier.
It's more grittier, it's more like fighting on
Yeah,
every.
yeah.
And I think the reason why Guardiola is more successful and why I think he's better is because his teams end up playing better because they suit his style of play more.
Yeah,
Because
that's
with
true.
with because Guardiola's always had like these big teams with like crazy talents.
I also
And I think that they benefit from his style more than Mourinho.
I don't remember a player that played for Guardiola and was like, this is terrible. But I can say that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Mourinho sometimes. Like I remember who it was, but oh Pogba. Pogba was one
Pogba, yeah.
on Man United and he kind of just like wasn't having a good time. Now Pogba's doing nothing, but that goes to what you were saying, like the players suit Guardiola style better.
Was Lukaku on Man United when
Yeah, when they
Mourinho
won the Europa
was
League, yeah.
there?
I think he was there and
Yeah, he was
Zlatan
there,
was
right?
there. Yeah.
And Zlatan was there. But Zlatan was the starter for United until he
That's
got injured, I
yeah, I
think.
think so, yeah.
So I'm not sure how his relationship was with Lukaku, but I mean, I think his relationship was kind of poor with a lot of the players on that team.
Mainly the
I
skilled
don't,
ones, yeah.
yeah. He also has a tendency to like to bench really good players and then play other players that might not be as good, but will fight for every ball and
Yeah,
will be more like gritty on everything. You know what I mean?
he's all about like character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like he's willing to make those sacrifices, even though it's gonna hurt his team. I think it's also a pride thing.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
feel like he makes sacrifices that hurt the team, but for him, like he chooses that over having maybe a player who's
It's like
like really
rewarding a
good.
bratty player. Pretty
Yeah,
much
who's
like he'll
really
give it to a
good,
player that
but
maybe deserves it.
yeah. That's what I think.
All right. Good stuff, lad. All right, so now we got your club. Hey,
Yeah.
where do you want to start?
This is where the fun starts. Yeah, so as a lot of people probably heard already, there's a lot of changes that are happening at Milan right now. So
What
let's
kind of
start from the
changes?
beginning and we'll work our way down because there's a lot of changes
Yeah.
and a lot of things that are happening. So the last game that Milan played this season was against Verona. It was a 3-1 win, and we saw Zlatan make his last appearance. Although he didn't play, he had a ceremony at the end of the game. And we thought it was gonna be him leaving the team, going for another smaller team or whatever it is. But he made a surprise retirement that no one was expecting, not even the club. Like he was the only one who knew. So like it destroyed the morale of like a lot of players on the team and a
Yeah.
lot of fans as well. We saw players in tears like Sandro Tonali, which we'll get to in a bit. Um, and yeah, so that kind of destroyed the hearts of a lot of fans. And then a few days later, we get the whole Maldini situation. Um,
So what happened with that? Like,
where
why
do
did he
where do I
get
even
fired?
start?
Why did
So
he get fired?
Maldini got fired for people who don't know. Maldini and Massara, who
Who's
was
Maldini?
Ma- no, I'm saying like for those who don't know the situation.
Yeah,
Um, and also Massara, who was kind of like working with Maldini in that technical director role. And they were responsible for buying players and all that stuff. So pretty much Maldini had a bit of an unsuccessful transfer market last summer, starting with probably the biggest disappointment, which was the Keto. Why are you smiling?
because it's hilarious. Go on.
Starting with the Kettler, who just disappointed
Yeah, I don't
so
know what
much. She
happened to
got
him.
one assist all season, no
He also
goals.
didn't play much, but is that because he wasn't doing well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a bit of it I want to blame Pioli for because like the way he handled the situation was really bad.
You can
Like
always blame him. He is
yeah,
he is he is a big problem. Like it's not like it was all Maldini's fault or whoever's fault it was up there. Like Pioli is also the one picking the players,
yeah. Yeah, and like the way he handles the situation because you can see that like he was a player that was how do you say it? Like
learning.
immature the way he played. It was very
Yeah.
immature and he needed to like get used to the new league. He needed to get used to the new playing style, new teammates. And he's also very young.
Yeah.
So to get rid of him from the team and only play him, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes every one or two games, it's not going to help a player's confidence at all.
Play
And
him
that's
for
what
like
he's
a
missing.
half. Like you have Brahim Diaz. If you want to like start Diaz or maybe bring on Diaz in the second half to like you could solidify that good end of the half. I
Yeah.
don't know, like something like that. Like so you're saying pretty much he didn't really have any playing time to learn. And
Yeah.
so from
And
that point on he's kind of did his
yeah,
thing.
you can blame Pioli for that, but at the same time, like
If you didn't have him in the first place.
no, what I'm trying to say is like you can blame Pioli, but obviously Maldini is gonna be the one who gets blamed because he's the one who bought him and he spent all summer going after him. And he bought him for 35 million, which isn't a little bit of money for a player that only gets 1 assist all season. You
Yeah.
know, it feels like a big waste of money, and we know how Milan's management is right now. Like they do not like spending money. They like to make money, save money, be very good economically, but they do not like to spend money. So the fact that like they gave Maldini $35 million on one player, it was a big sacrifice for
It was a
them
big deal for
because
them for him to get it
yeah.
right.
So they expected so much. They expected him to be like the player that would like make a difference this season. And he was probably the
Okay.
player that made the least amount of difference all season. So it
Even
was like
Zlatan had more.
the whole yeah, Zlatan had a goal. Um
Damn.
and he was injured all season. So I mean, um yeah,
Basically. Yeah.
he got that transfer really wrong in the eyes of the management,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why he's
That's pretty
getting
much the main
and
reason.
it's not just that transfer, it's like the whole transfer market.
Hmm.
He did a lot of loan to buy offers um that got accepted, and we took those players in. But like Dest, for example,
Oh
and
yeah.
Vranks, another one from Wolfsburg. Um, who else? Origi, we flat out bought, and he was really disappointing. So yeah, it was just an all-round really disappointing transfer market. The only good one is Malik Thiaw,
Yeah.
the defender, who's actually doing really good right now for Germany. Um, and Germany's manager actually said like he was really surprised. He was probably I don't know if what it was, if it was a qualifying game or what they played last,
Yeah.
but I heard Flick say that he really surprised him. So yeah, that was like
That's
the
good.
only
How young is
transfer.
he?
Oh, he's like 20.
Oh, perfect. You got
He's
lots of
20 and
time with him then.
he's huge. He's like so tall. So he's a beast back there. Um and I'm pretty sure they played Poland, and he made a couple great defensive challenges against Lewandowski. Like
That'll
1-on-one
that'll
with
get the
him.
eyes on you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the only good transfer he made in the whole transfer market, pretty much.
Very
And
good.
that's the reason why he's getting kicked out. I don't want to
Okay.
like dwell too much on that.
Do you
They,
agree with it?
I think
As
they
much as
should
a club legend he
they
is.
should have given him more time. It's hard because what the way I see it is you can't really like get mad at Maldini too much because he didn't really have the money to spend.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he had no margin. Like pretty much if he made a mistake, he was gone with how little they gave him.
Like think about it.
And you can't be perfect.
He had 35 million to spend and he spent it on De Ketelaere, but how was he going to know that De Ketelaere would have such a bad season?
Yeah.
Like 35 million, you're only going to buy a player that is like De Ketelaere, a young player who can either have a good or bad season. You're
And
not
no
going
one
to
knows
buy
too
an
much about him.
established you're not going to buy an
Yeah.
established player that's going to for sure give you a good season. So
Yeah.
it could have gone the same way for any other 35 or 40 million dollar player.
And I would say also like it's not like doesn't make sense to blame it all on him because like when you yeah he bought the player but also there's like so many other factors that go into it like you said like the playing time he has, relationship with the coach, relationship with teammates even.
Like
So
it's not just the fact that like oh Maldini discovered all these great players like Teo Hernandez, Leao. Not discovered. Like obviously we know Jeffrey Mancada, who's the scout at Milan. He was the one who actually brought forward all these players to Maldini. But Maldini's the one who negotiated for them and got the lower price and all that.
yeah.
So you got to give Maldini credit as well. Like it's not like he discovered them, but he brought them for a very low price. Um,
I can imagine in negotiations you're like I'm Maldini. Like you have to listen to
you're
me.
sitting down with Maldini.
How can you like disagree with
Are
him?
you gonna tell him no? You're gonna be like no. When Milan signed Teo Hernandez, he said that he Maldini met him at Ibiza on vacation,
Yeah.
and they sat down and he had a conversation and he couldn't believe his eyes that he was sitting down with Maldini to talk about going to Milan. And he said that that was the reason why he joined. Like that moment that they shared together, that's the reason why he joined.
That luxury won't like be around anymore now.
So you're not gonna get that with talking to like some other American guy who's gonna sit down with you and be like, "Hey, come to Milan." Like, yeah, Milan's a historic team, but
Soccer.
sitting down with some American dude and sitting down with Maldini is a huge difference, and you're
Yeah.
not gonna get that with anyone else. So yeah, there's that as well. And
I'd like
yeah,
to give you an update.
yeah.
Fabrizio just posted that Milan and Newcastle for Sandro Tonali is in full agreement.
Oh, okay. How much is it? Because yesterday I
I
heard
don't know.
75. Oh,
They
okay.
it's or maybe he put on deal being finished now, documents being prepared, final check between club, and then it's here we go.
Okay.
So we'll keep a look on
So
that for
yeah,
price.
we're gonna get to that in just a second. I
Yeah.
just also wanted to touch on a few other things. So yeah, to wrap up the Maldini thing, it's very unfortunate. Fans are very sad that that he left, and Masara as well because Masara was a big help as well. And it's unfortunate, and now our team is being run by Fruliani, who also worked in Milan before, but he had like a lower role, and now he got like pretty much the director role. And he's being accompanied by Moncada, who was the scout that
Mhm.
discovered all these players, so he's gonna be helping him. And also Pioli has a bigger role in discussing these players and who Milan is gonna buy. Um so that brings us to Pioli
Yeah,
staying.
I was gonna say.
Um,
So it's confirmed, right? He's staying.
yeah, it's confirmed he's staying. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, me neither.
I think instead of getting rid of Maldini and Masara, you should have got rid of Pioli.
And
You
see where
don't
things would go.
you don't get rid of
Like, oh
like
yeah,
your
like
whole foundation.
what if the Kettler like had a good next season under a new coach?
Exactly. Watch the Kittler have a pretty good season and then they're gonna be like, oh,
He
what
makes
now?
team of the season.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like you don't get rid of your foundation
Yeah.
instead of getting rid of a little block at the top. When you're destroying a building, you don't go from the bottom to the top. Like
Yeah, yeah,
if that even makes sense.
that's a good
But like
analogy.
Pioli's like a little block on the top of the building, and Maldini and Masada were at the bottom, and they
There's
literally got rid of the foundation and kept Pioli on top.
there's a bad shingle on the roof. Let me just take out these floors.
Yeah, it's exactly that makes even more sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't go well with me and the other fans and yeah, there's not much to say. Like I would have preferred looking for another manager, but it is what it is.
This doesn't
Um
make like any sense what I'm about to say, but even when Pioli stands on the sideline, he just looks like an idiot. Like it just doesn't look
he
like
just doesn't
he
look
doesn't
like
look
he
like someone I'd want to play
belongs.
for.
He doesn't look like he belongs. Like yeah, he did so much and he made a miracle letting us win the Scudetto, but I think more credit goes to the players than Pioli. Yeah, Pioli
Yeah.
built like a good environment, like a good team environment, but other than
Mhm.
that, like his play style is okay. Like
What's
sometimes
his philosophy even? I didn't really like
no,
I haven't seen a real identity.
his philosophy is not bad. Like it revolves around like fast play and all that
Okay.
and like pressure, high pressure and possession, but like you just can't do it like Guardiola, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um yeah, so that's what that is. I don't like I could stay here and talk all day about how I want Pioli to leave, but it's never gonna happen.
Who
At
would
least
you
not
like
now.
to have replaced him?
I would have loved Luis Enrique. I
Yeah.
think he would have been perfect. Looks like he's going to PSG now.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know that. Okay.
It sounds like he is. Apparently he's getting close to PSG, and
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would have been good for you guys.
yeah, for sure. Um, I also wanted to talk about Brahim Diaz leaving, going back to Real Madrid.
Yeah. Was it
Um,
a 2-season loan?
yeah, it was two.
Yeah.
I believe it was one season, and then we extended it another season.
Okay.
And we could have bought him for like 20 million, I think it was. And then Real Madrid had like a buyback clause, which was like 8 million more.
So you just make a free 8 million profit.
Yeah. But we didn't choose to buy him, which I think is so stupid. Why don't you buy him? Because you knew Real Madrid wanted him back. So why don't you buy him and then Real Madrid buys him back? But then I don't know if Real Madrid would have paid the
Imagine
money.
they paid for him and then Real Madrid like psych.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with that. Like, you never know, right?
Yeah.
Because
But
maybe
how
Real
could they
Madrid
be
wanted
such
him.
D-bags to make a team that's not even relevant to them pay something just to screw with them? Because like it's not like they're in the same league. Like it's not like a Barcelona or
And
Atletico
like
Madrid situation.
8 mil for Real Madrid. Like,
It's
what is
nothing
that?
for them.
So I don't know. Yeah, he
You
went
sad to
back
see him
there.
go?
He went back there a little because he's contributed a lot over the last 2 years, mainly this year and the Scudetto winning year.
Yeah, those are the 2 seasons he was there.
Yeah. No, he was there the season before too.
So he was there for 3 seasons.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just thinking about that now. He was actually there for 3 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, because he was there when we were in the Europa League, and then he was there when we went back to the Champions League, and now he was there this season. So it was three years.
There you
I'm
go.
pretty sure it was a 2 year loan, and then we got one more
One
year
more
added
year.
to it. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of sad to see him go, but he wasn't providing as much as we thought he would,
Yeah.
so can't really pay big money for him. It's
Yeah.
better to move on to another target.
We'll get to Real Madrid in a bit.
Yeah. And now we talk about Sandro Tonali. It's a huge story that just came out in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. So
Um
what's going on?
so pretty much Newcastle came knocking on the door after they were already trying to sign Barella, which we'll talk about
I think
soon.
that fell through, right?
I'm pretty sure Inter weren't being offered as much as they wanted, so
Anyways,
it
continue.
fell through. They came knocking a few days ago. I think it's been 3 days now that they had the offer on the table. And I heard that Sandro Tonali actually went to management before leaving for the under 21 Euros right now.
Yeah.
And he told management, like, I want to stay at Milan at all costs. Do not sell me. Like, even if offers come, I don't want to be sold. And then Milan got this like $60 million euro offer, and they were thinking about it. And then I'm pretty sure yesterday they sent the offer back to them and they told them it's not enough. And then yesterday they presented a new offer, which was around 75 million or 80 million. And then now Milan are just thinking about it, whether to ask for more. But
Mm-hmm.
it seems to me like everything is agreed now, and I
Yeah,
think
Fabrizio said full agreement. Yeah.
they're gonna either see. I don't know if they offered another one
Yeah.
and now they agreed, because why wouldn't they have agreed yesterday? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Unless
Um,
they needed to sleep on it.
yeah, maybe they needed to sleep on it. Maybe they offered a few mil more, but like for Newcastle, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Um, and yes, and they communicated to Tonali's agent that they're gonna sell him yesterday. They had a meeting with him, and from what I'm hearing, Tonali's wasn't very happy about it,
About leaving?
about leaving. But at the same time, like, I don't really think you have an option. If your team wants you gone, you have to go. Like,
Yeah.
even if you say no, I'm not going.
Like even if you disagree on personal terms, you're saying?
Yeah, and also like think of it like this, right? Like Maldini, I was gonna
Oh
say.
no, he's
Tonali.
gone.
Tonali's a huge Milan fan. We all know this. He's said it a lot of times. He always wanted to stay at Milan. But this situation is different from the Donnarumma, in my opinion, because
Yeah, I think so too.
Donnarumma didn't have um a contract already on the table.
Like his
Like
was running
he
out, and
his was running out and he chose to leave. No
yeah,
one was kicking him out. Milan wanted to keep him.
yeah,
Milan wanted to keep him on the team. But Donnarumma said, no, I'm gonna let it run out. I'm not gonna accept your 6 mil a year. I'm gonna go to PSG and get way more than that. And Donnarumma wanted out. He was the first one that said, I want to leave. Tonali is being told that he's getting sold.
yeah,
So if you're a Milan fan looking at that and you put sweat, blood, and tears into that jersey every game, and then you see that they're trying to sell you, I would be pissed off. I would be like,
yeah.
okay, I'm out. I'm going.
I
Goodbye.
I
I'm
think
gonna go get my 10 mil a year at Newcastle, play
yeah,
in
that's
the
what I was
Premier
gonna say.
League,
Yeah,
play in the Champions League and in the Premier League, earn 10 million and shove it in your face.
like as sad as it is that he might be, like as sad as he might be for leaving, like this is a great position for him to be in. Like Newcastle's a great team for him, I think. Like it's not players that are like fully established. You don't have Ronaldo, Neymar, Messi's, De Bruyne's, Haaland's. It's
Yeah.
a team where like everyone's kind of at the same level,
Hmm.
but everyone's really good at the same time. They just don't really know how good they are, maybe. And so everyone doesn't have that crazy ego like that striker they have, Isaac.
Hmm.
He's great. They got Botman
Yeah.
at the back. I think they got Nick Pope in net. He's good. So like I think that's the perfect team for him to play for. Like obviously you said already, Champions League now, Premier League. Like who doesn't want to play in the Premier League at some point in their career, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited to see him next year. And he's making like what over double what he made at Milan, so I think he'll get over it quickly. But
It's like
still stings.
8 mil plus two bonuses. Two
Still
mil.
stings, but I think he'll get over it eventually.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
excited to watch him next year. Now
And
more people can see. Now more
he's
people
always
can see how
gonna
good he is.
yeah, he's always gonna be a Milan fan, obviously, but
Yeah.
like I don't think he's gonna have very good ties with this management at all, especially
At
the way they're
least
trying to
at
kick
least
him
it's
out.
not like Juventus, Inter, or like Napoli that he's going to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. It would have been a lot
that
worse.
would be like get
At
your
least he's
pitchforks ready.
gone. At least he's gone and he's out of our eyes and we can cheer for him in
Yeah,
the Premier
exactly.
League. You know what I mean?
Unless you face him in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Watch that happen now.
No,
You
that
gotta you're gonna draw them in the group stage.
clip it, clip it. Yeah.
All right.
Um,
I think
so
that's it for him, right? We don't have anything else to mention about him.
well, yeah, to follow up on that now, who's coming in,
Yeah.
especially in his place.
Yeah.
So let's start from the top. We got Turam.
He's a good player.
Obviously, we know Milan have wanted him for a while now. Even last season, we wanted him, but didn't end up falling through.
Is he on
Or
Frankfurt?
coming through. Yeah, no, no, sorry. He's on um, what's it called?
Another German team?
Borussia
Oh
Mönchengladbach.
yeah, that's right. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was having a brain fart for a second.
He's good. I feel
He's
like yeah,
he's actually really good. He's pretty young. He's like what, 25,
yeah, somewhere around there. I th
24, 25, I think.
keep talking, I'll check.
Yeah, let me know. Um, he's not too bad at all. We are gonna get him for free. So
Oh.
that's huge.
Oh yeah. That's good. He's
And
25.
if we believe everything we're hearing, he should be a Milan player in the next week or so.
And I think that's a good club for him.
PSG wanted him as well, but it looks like if Luis
Also, he
Enrique goes there, he wants Kane. He wants to get Kane.
okay.
That's what I heard. So
Wait, who wants Kane?
Luis Enrique wants Kane at PSG if he
Oh,
goes
okay.
there.
Then
So
I mean they have the money for it.
yeah, so it looks like they're leaving Thuram alone. Obviously, they would have offered him way more money than Milan were offering,
Yeah.
but Milan are offering him 6 million, which is a big contract on Milan because that's the second most paid player on Milan.
And the
if he
highest
gets it.
being Leao.
Leao is the highest. I'm pretty sure he's
And
making
that's
around
his new
8.
contract, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he would have been the most paid if Leao hadn't had a new
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah. And he's making more than players like Theo Hernandez, Maignan. Um, yeah.
They really want him, man. I think
Giroud.
that's a good place for him, though.
Yeah, I think he would do really good.
And he can
Um,
play right side, can he?
he can play
If
right
he's
side,
not
but we need
striker.
him. But we need him for that striker position.
Yeah.
That's why we're signing him because it's like a decently young striker who's very physical, who can play our type of style.
Yeah.
I think he would be a huge signing. He's that player that we've been missing for so many years. Yeah, we have Giroud, but he's older and he can't play all your games, and
Yeah, you
especially
can't you
now.
can't keep asking him
He's
to
only getting older,
yeah. Can't
He's
keep
only
asking to
getting
do
older.
his scorpion kicks at this age.
Yeah. Um so yeah, Thuram would be a great pickup. Um next we move on to Milinkovic Savic, who would be the ideal replacement that I want for Tonali.
I'm gonna check his age.
He's 28 if I'm not wrong, but yeah, check it. Um
But who's counting?
yeah. He would be perfect. I think he would
He's
definitely
28.
be. Yeah. I mean,
That's what he
it's what I do.
does.
It's what I do. Um I think he would be huge, no? I think he would be really good.
Oh yeah.
He would be
I
a like no disrespect to Tonali at all. And I'm not trying to get excited
no.
about anything because realistically, I don't even think we're gonna sign him. But like this is who I would want and who's rumored. I think he would be a step up from Tonali,
Oh, he would.
surely with experience and just, like skill and
Yeah.
just
He's
like
also more of a
everything.
balanced midfielder, I'd say. Like Tonali, I'd say is more defensive, right?
Yeah.
Where
So like you
Savage can
do,
play pretty much up and down that midfield
yeah,
three.
you do gain a lot of quality
Oh yeah.
by selling Tonali and then getting Milinkovic Savic.
I mean, maybe they can sign him with like the money they got from Tonali.
They only want 40 million for him
Why?
because his contract is expiring next season.
Oh my.
So they only want 40 mil.
So
So like
stupid.
you're getting 80
Wait, wait,
million
wait. Oh,
from
for
Tonali.
Savage. Oh no. They want 40
Yeah.
million for Tonali?
No, dude, they
Okay,
want
okay.
40 million.
Okay, carry on then. I was
What are you
gonna
talking
say,
about?
like, what? How do you go from 80 million to 40?
No, no, no. You've got it all wrong, lad.
Okay,
So,
that's good then.
they want 40 million for Savage. So, I say use the 80 million to get Savage.
You could even almost sell the Kettler and almost
Really? Really?
get that back.
Um, so yeah, Milinkovic Savic would be huge. You can get him for like 35 to 40 million. That's a huge bargain for him because
And,
he's easily worth 80 or 90 million,
and
maybe
then
even
imagine your
100
team then.
million.
You got Teo Hernandez, Maignan, Leao, Thuram, and Savage. That's a great
And
team.
hold
Tomori.
on, hold on, because the rumor is they don't want to just sign Milinkovic Savic. They want to sign, I don't know if you know him, Frattesi. He plays on Sassuolo. I think you
Yeah,
saw him
I know him
play.
now because I watched Nations League.
He's a cheeky little player. He's like 22, 22 or 23.
That's
Um,
a good age.
he plays on Sassuolo and all of Italy want him. Napoli, Inter, Juve, Roma, they all want him. He's
Yeah.
very good. He's a very good player. More attacking than Tonali was. He gets a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that would be a great player as well. If you sign Milinkovic, Savic, and Frattesi, I think the management will be forgiven.
I have a question.
Obviously, you lose that key figure in Tonali, but I think I would be happy.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can Benacer play defensive mid kind of? Can he have that
Yeah,
role?
that's how he plays.
So then you can have him, Fratesi, and Savage.
Yeah. If if Kamada doesn't work out, which we also have on the list
Yeah.
because we're gonna get Kamada for free.
What is he like? Cam?
He's a cam. So let's say like our cams don't work out. We switch to a three-man midfield instead
You
of
know
having that cam.
what I always say? I always believe that cams can play the wing
Yeah.
because they have that same athleticism that a winger has. but they're just on the ball more, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what's the difference between cam and a winger except from being in the middle of the field? You still kind of dribble. You still
Mm-hmm.
gotta have good ball control.
Yeah.
You gotta have that attacking mind. So I feel like he could be pushed to that right wing spot. I know you guys don't have anyone there, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But here the thing is, so let's go back to Fratizzi for a second.
Yeah.
So Sassuolo want like anywhere from 35 to 40 million for him as well. So that would
That's
getting
actually pretty cheap considering how high demand he is.
yeah, yeah. But that's just Italian players and
Yeah.
Serie A players. Like
Yeah.
there's no Premier League tax on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like their natural value. Um So yeah, Fratesi and Milinkovic-Savic would equal out to 80 million. Do I think that the management is gonna use all of the money from Tonali for these two signings?
I
No.
feel like they're gonna keep some for like
No.
the club or whatever.
Yeah, I do. Even though the management straight out said any money we make from selling players, it's always 100% gonna be reinvested into the team.
Okay. Do you
That's
believe
their
them?
philosophy. That's what they said.
Do
No,
you
I don't believe them. I don't believe them
I
one
love how
bit.
you almost did quotations with your full hand there.
Yeah, like that's what they say. They're like, "Oh, 100% will be reinvested because we're only gonna keep money for the team that we make from like winning tournaments and stuff like that and like revenue and all that. But any money that is, gained from selling players, it will be reinvested." That's what they said. Do I believe it? Not a chance. I guess we'll see. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I hope so.
It seems like this Milan club just keeps lying.
It's these American owners, man. It's these American owners.
Soccer.
They don't know how to run a soccer team.
You guys should totally get what's his name from USA? Something Adams.
Pulisic. Oh,
No. Okay, garbage.
he's a target too, though, for Milan on the wing.
What's his first name? Remember him? He was captain of USA in the World Cup. He was great.
Adams, yeah,
What's his
Adams.
first name?
Tyler?
Yeah, I think that's it actually.
Tyler Adams?
Good job.
Yeah,
All right. Who
he would
else
be
is
good
there,
too.
lad? He would, yeah. There's a couple youngsters.
We already talked about Kamada. So Kamada is a cam.
Yeah.
He would come for free. He's pretty much already agreed. It's just a matter of signing the
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So we pretty much already secured that signing. On the wing, like we were saying, we are linked to Pulisic, but right now Chuck Weezy from Villarreal. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing his name right. He's a great winger. Real Madrid wants him. Half of Europe wants him. His price tag is also 40 million, but there is to be said that just because we sold Tonali for 80 and we spend the money, let's say, on Fratesi and Milinkovic Savic, it doesn't mean that we're all out of transfer budget money.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
coming into it, we were already going to spend around 60 to 70 million. That was
Okay.
like the budget for this. So like we'll have the 70 million plus another 80 million from Tonali's sale.
He's
So we can
24.
easily, sorry?
He's 24.
Yeah, so he's really good as well. Um, and he adds to like that young philosophy that Milan have.
Would
Um,
you be disappointed if like let me look at the list of players here. Like what if they just got Kamada and Guler and
yeah,
that's it?
I would be disappointed for
Okay.
sure. Even though, okay, so Chuck Weezy, I would love him. He's my number one target on that right wing. He would really complete the team because you would get Thuram up top, Chuck Weezy on the wing. You fill in that spot that Tonali's leaving with
Even if it's just
Milinkovic
one guy.
Savic.
Even if it's
You
just
could,
one guy you bring
yeah,
in.
and then you have Fratesi on the bench who can come on and he honestly he's gonna be if we get Milinkovic Savic and Fratesi, that's gonna be our midfield for the
Oh
start
yeah.
of the season. No, because Benacer is injured till November. He has
Oh,
an
okay.
injury. So for the start of the season, for the first few months, that's gonna
Fratesi's gonna get a lot of playing then.
yeah. And then who knows if Benacer can get back into the team if Fratesi performs really well.
The
Uh,
Kettler comes in. There's a
um
three-man midfield.
And then the last player that I wanted to talk about is Güler. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name as well. He's a very young Turkish player. He's like 17 or 18,
Let's
I
check.
think.
This is my job now.
You're the data analyst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's 17 or 18.
What's his position?
Cam. He plays Cam. He's so solid.
He's 18.
He's 18.
Wait, what's his
He's
first
just
name? Arda?
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, he's 18.
yeah. So he plays on Fenerbahce right now,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a breakout star for them. Half of Europe wants this kid. Barcelona's leading the charge, but Milan are right there as well, and they intensified talks in the last few days because they're talking like with the kid's family because apparently he doesn't have an agent. It's just his family that runs
Yeah,
like the transfer stuff.
they represent him. Yeah.
And he has a release clause of 17 million, which is very good
Oh, that's good.
for him
Why would you
because like
put release clauses are so stupid sometimes. Haaland was got for 60 mil.
yeah. Dude,
Mudryk was signed for
honestly,
100 mil.
no, but the reason why he has a release clause is because he played a certain amount of games and it activated his release clause, or
So it's
else he
part of
wouldn't
the
have had
deal.
it. Yeah. It was part of his like contract that he had if he played a certain amount of minutes. I think it was like 1,700 minutes or something like that.
How do you know all this stuff?
Because I was reading up on him, and Fabrizio actually posted it when the release clause got activated.
Oh, okay. You're the
Um,
data guy, not me. I'm just
yeah.
checking the ages.
So yeah, he would be huge. If you
Would you
go look at
prefer
videos of
would you
sorry?
prefer the other guys over him though?
Yeah, I think those guys are a necessity. Like
Okay.
you need to buy Turam, Milinkovic Savic. Maybe Fratesi can be left out, but like I say for sure, you need Milan to buy Turam, Milinkovic Savic, Kamada, Chuck Wheezy. You need those players because those are positions that we need to fill,
Yeah.
especially Tonali. Dude,
Especially center mid, yeah.
right now, the only midfielders we have are Krunic and Pobega. Those are the ones that are left after Tonali left.
And
We
they're
have
not the
two
greatest.
midfielders, and they're
Especially
not the greatest.
Krunic.
They're okay rotation players, but like,
Not who you want to start every night.
no, it would be horrible, horrible, horrible to start the season with them. So we need to replace them. That's a must. Goulet would be amazing for the future.
Yeah.
And like I'm convinced that he can come in right now and be a starting player if Kamada doesn't perform.
Okay.
And if De Ketelaere doesn't perform, you can put him there and he'll play solid. Go watch his videos on YouTube after we record this. This kid is unbelievable. I don't usually base anything off of YouTube videos because they always show the highlights.
Yeah.
But like I read the comments of like the Fenerbahce fans and the Turkish fans in the comments, and people are like saying that this kid is insane, and like the highlights really do justice of how good he is.
Did you watch
Um,
the Ketteler highlights before you signed him? Or no?
yeah, I did.
And were you saying the same thing?
No, no, I'm gonna be honest.
No.
I wasn't. No, I saw the highlights and I was like, okay, he's pretty damn good, and I was so excited because he looked really good and way better than what we had. Um, and then obviously he disappointed. But looking at Goulet, like the things that he does, and he just scored for Turkey. He just scored like a screamer for Turkey. I don't know if you saw it. It
I
was
didn't.
trending on Instagram the other day. Curled it right into the top left corner.
Oh, maybe I did see
From
it.
outside the box. From outside the
Maybe I
box.
did.
And yeah,
So
like
he sounds exciting
he
then.
just keeps impressing. So
Let
yeah,
me
he
say
would
this. If you guys do get him and then he's another like the Ketteler moment. I mean, he's still young, so like you gotta give him
he's
at least
18.
you gotta give him at least 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
Uh but then if like nothing comes out of him, I think you just gotta look at the coach and say, you need a new development
Go.
pitch side. You need a new
Yeah.
development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
Good targets to be
But
fair.
yeah, that's it for that. I saw a little rumor today that's intensifying a little about Lukaku going to Milan. with Thuram as well.
Dude,
So
that's
like
a imagine those
the
Milan
strikers
derbies.
would be the strikers would be Colombo, who we just brought back from loan, and he would be like our fourth striker.
Yeah.
And then he's like really young though. He's like 20 years old, very promising Italian player. So we would have him as a fourth striker, Lukaku as like a third, or maybe Giroud as a third, Lukaku as a second, and then Thuram as a first.
I'd say wait, is Lukaku a free?
No, 40 million.
Oh, then I'd say don't waste your money. Like obviously I can't tell them what to do. But I'd say like worry about that money going to like the players we just talked about.
I would worry about Lukaku last. Like, let's say like the transfer deadline day, like maybe they want like 20 or 30 million for him. Do like a loan to buy, get him on the
Yeah.
team. What's the worst that can happen? It's just more depth,
Yeah.
which Milan needs. And like having that much depth, Lukaku, Thuram, Colombo, and Giroud, that's like incredible striker depth.
You guys don't usually play with two though, right? It's
No,
usually one, right? If it
yeah.
was two, like
But
then that would be nice. But
Thuram and Lukaku, like they have kind of like the same playing style.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Giroud and I just wish Giroud wasn't as
Giroud,
old as he is because I'd love to
you can
keep
put
seeing
Giroud
him
with
play.
one of them, I think. I
Yeah.
think you can put Giroud with one of them. Because
Okay.
Giroud is good at like creating plays as well. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about that.
What else do we have here?
What needs to be fixed? Who needs to come in? Well, we just
You
talked
talked
about
about
that.
that, but like,
Who
is
needs
there
to
anything that
go?
needs to be fixed that you haven't said? I guess you
I
talked
just
about
want
the
to talk about
coach.
I want to talk about who needs to go. So yeah, obviously I already
Oh,
told
right,
you.
right.
Pioli needs to go. I want to
Yeah.
make this nice and fast. I don't want to spend too much.
A
Pioli
quick
needs to
fire.
go.
You're gone. You're gone. You're gone.
Yeah. Pioli needs to go. I said that like 3 times now. Um,
So Pioli needs to go.
yeah, Pioli. Okay, enough. Poor guy. Um, Rebic as well. He needs to go.
He's had some injury problems,
Um,
no?
Krunic, if a good offer comes for him, I would sell him. You can make some good money, maybe like 15 million off of him.
Cheeky change.
Origi really needs to go.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see him go.
Usually someone says, I'd love to
Sorry.
see him at the club. I'd love to see him go.
I would love to see him leave. He's been nothing but nothing.
No
Uh,
late winners off quick corners.
no.
Just
Messias.
just false advertisement.
Yeah, Messias needs to go.
Yeah, you keep bringing him up. Seems like he's not great for you guys.
And the thing is, they want to sell Salamakers instead of Messias.
Salamaker is a goat off the bench.
Yeah.
Like he's such a late sub
Remember him against
wonder.
Napoli?
Yeah. That's what he is.
30.
He's meant to be a super sub. Like that's his role in life now.
The thing is, he wants more playing time. That's why.
Okay, he doesn't want to be a super sub. That's
No,
unlucky.
he doesn't want to be a super sub.
Even though that's
No.
what he's good at.
Yeah.
I mean, if they sign someone new, then
Then
he
I would
won't.
still sell Messias.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on from Milan. We've been dwelling too much about this. I just had to get all that out. It's been building up for weeks and weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a
Um,
lot to talk about though.
let's move on to your team though, Chelsea. How's
Yeah.
that going for you guys?
So going out of that season, obviously, I didn't really give a flying, you know what,
Yeah.
about how the season would end as long as we didn't get relegated. And we didn't, thanks to Super Frank with like one win, I think. Oh my
He did
god.
just what he was brought in for.
Oh my god. Anyways, so he's gone. Pochettino comes in. I'll get to him in a bit, but one thing I'm really sad about is the players who left. Especially Havertz. I feel like a lot of people look at Chelsea and it's easy to say like some players are bad just because of how the team's playing. Like I know so many people that have been saying like Havertz is like, misses all these chances and whatever, but like he's at the same time he's finding these chances in a garbage Chelsea team. So like I feel like that shouldn't count for nothing. Also, why are you selling him to Arsenal? Like
Yeah,
that's your
makes no
rival
sense to
team.
me. Why would you sell
You're
it to
gonna have
your
to
rival?
play against him now. You know what he can do. Like he was linked to Real Madrid earlier. but I don't know what happened. Maybe they were asking too much, but
Yeah.
I just
Do you know
think that's a dumb way to leave. What?
do you know who's in charge of uh like the transfers in Chelsea? Like
I
who's
want
the
to say it's
director?
Bowley.
You think
Just
he's actually the one making
you know what?
like
I actually do because like, why would you spend 100 million on Mudryk? And also like every signing he makes is like, think about it. Fernandez, right? He was how many teams was he linked to before he went to Chelsea? Right? Bowley's
yeah,
like, oh, this guy's hot. Let me just throw 100 mil on him.
yeah.
Oh, Mudryk's hot. He's gonna go to Arsenal. Let me steal him from him. You
Hmm.
know, that's why I think it is like he is the main guy. Just
They
because,
took they took a flop from Arsenal and then they gave them another one.
like, come on now.
They're like, okay, we'll take Mudryk, you take Havertz.
For
We'll
real though,
trade.
I'm actually disappointed that Havertz didn't because he was I think he was a good player for us, and
No, yeah, he wasn't a flop. I just said that because
I think like it's gonna be one of those where like Chelsea gave away De Bruyne, they gave away Salah. Now everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, they did it again. Watch.
watch Havertz have like the best season of his life.
And I love how Arsenal fans like they just hop on the train of calling him garbage throughout the whole year. Now that they have him, you know how many people are excited for him? Everyone's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait!" Like,
But
man,
however, though, I must say, I heard some Arsenal fans saying that they're kind of disappointed that they're spending 80 million on him.
that's true because also I don't think he's gonna play much. If
Yeah,
you look at
yeah.
the attack that they had and how successful they were top of the league for like what was it like over 100 and something days, two
I don't know,
hundred
80
days.
million for the bench, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's that Premier League tax you're
It
talking
shows
about.
you Premier League money. They can afford to spend 80 million on a bench player. But then Milan's best midfielder goes for 80 million.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I'm pretty disappointed about Havertz leaving. Another guy that's leaving is Mason Mount. Well, I'm pretty sure, like at this point, it's almost imminent that he's gonna go to Man U. He was one of my favorite players when he started out at Chelsea. Like, do you remember when we had that transfer ban
Hmm.
and Lampard came in his first season? We have all these young players coming off of loan because we can't sign new ones. We have like Abraham, Mount, Reece James, like their first year with Chelsea, or whatever. He was so
Yeah.
great for us. And then after that, he kind of just like disappeared. Like everyone started comparing him. It was like Foden, Saka, and Mount. Those three English guys. Now Mount's not even close to those two guys.
Yeah.
So he kind of just like disappeared and didn't play much under uh Potter. And like from that point in, he just hasn't played at all pretty much. So I can see why like it might be both for both. Sorry, it might be good for both him and the club that he leaves. He'll get a new opportunity, and Chelsea won't have to deal with like the confusion of why he's not doing great anymore. They can just move on from that.
Hmm.
So I guess that's you can understand that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those two I'm really disappointed that we let go. Mainly Havertz though.
Yeah.
Kovacic left to Man City.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just a whole kind of rebuild. Like I think that's what we needed. In all fairness, as much as like I'm telling you how disappointed I am in all these players leaving, but like that's something the club needed. Like there's too many big names, I'd say,
Too many
and
players.
yeah,
Too many players.
yeah, way too many players. We just, like it came to a point where Potter didn't even know who to play. Like I don't think we had the same lineup consistently. So so there's that. So it makes sense why we're getting rid of all these players. Also, like all these players that went to Saudi, Kante, Koulibaly, Mendy, uh, who else went? Ziyech went to Al Nasser.
Yeah.
Those are I'm confused why Koulibaly left because I feel like he was still good. But Ziyech I can understand. Mendy should have been. I don't know why he stopped being our number one keeper. Now it's Kepa. Once Potter came in, like he just benched Mendy. I don't know why. But yeah, whatever. This club is just too difficult to
What do
understand that I'm
you
not even gonna try and detect what's going on.
So we heard how you feel about Kante, Kovacic, Ziyech, and Koulibaly and Mendy and all those players, but how do you feel about Felix? Because he's a fellow
Oh
Portuguese
my.
player.
It's
Um,
another. It's like the Caverts. It's like the Havertz situation where
yeah,
like I feel like he was creating like people have to watch the games to know how good a player is and like you can't just there's more to like a player's success than their stats. Like
'cause you
how
you
many
were
goals they
pretty
score, how many assists
you
they have.
you were pretty excited about
I
Felix.
was.
You guys
And
got him.
I don't remember like I don't know if you remember we watched Chelsea and Dortmund in the Champions League
Yeah.
in the studio at school. And like he had so many I think he hit the crossbar like twice. Like
Mhm.
there's more to a player than what stats they bring. Like if he's creating chances, like he's gonna finish them eventually. Like he played like half a year in the Prem.
Mhm.
It's not the easiest league to play in. So if you just, I think they should have. I think they should have bought him. I don't know what the price was. Maybe if it's
Might have been
over,
enough to
maybe if it's
boost.
like 70 plus mil. Okay, I understand. Like let him go back. I think we should have kept him because he was giving us a lot. And
Yeah.
what is he doing at Atletico?
I don't
So
even know if he's gonna get game time.
yeah, exactly. So I feel like it just works
Um,
for both.
and then moving on to Pochettino coming
Um,
in.
this is another one where like I obviously don't want to say too much because I don't know yet how it's gonna go, but I'm he's not really known for his winning pedigree, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he spent like most of his life at Spurs, and we know the old tale of Spurs. They haven't won
Yep.
anything.
Uh-huh.
And the only time they almost did win something was when Mourinho took them to the FA Cup final, and then they sacked him, and then they lost.
Good
Um,
play, lads. Good play.
yeah, way to go. And he won the league at PSG, but like, buddy, we could win the league at PSG, I think. Um, so yeah, I don't want to say like I'm not gonna say like this is terrible because like it could go well, but I'm not over the moon. Like there were other like managers like Nagelsmann, but I think he was the one that actually rejected just because he didn't like the way Chelsea was running the club, and I can't even
Yeah.
blame him. I think that's a good idea for him. And then there's
I
like
don't blame
Luis
him.
Enrique they were linked to, but they never put their foot in the door with him and
Yeah.
just kind of felt to Pochettino, maybe because of Premier League experience, I think. Maybe that's why they went with him.
And do you think Pochettino is gonna do good, or do you think he's gonna struggle just like the other managers?
Um, Tough question. I'd say like I'm not gonna say they're gonna go out with flying colors, especially
Hmm.
with his first year here, like how bad we've been in the last year and a half. Um, let's hope we finish in the Champions League, right?
Hmm.
Let's hope.
That's fair.
That's the
That's a
goal.
good goal. That's a
Yeah,
good goal, especially
that's the
after this
goal.
season.
Yeah. And now they don't have to worry about anything else but the league. So maybe that can help them. I don't know, but
It's a
let
good situation to be in for like a rebuild.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about anything else. Worry about how your team does in the league. Try and make different competitions. Everyone's gonna learn this year.
Yeah, yeah. And then we look at players coming in. We got Nkunku, which we've known for a very long
Yeah,
time,
that happened a while ago,
but
and
now
he's
it's
finally gonna.
official. It's
Yeah,
official.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I didn't see too much of him at Leipzig, obviously, but we obviously know what he's about. Like he's just this quick player, great on the ball, almost a walking highlight reel at times.
Hmm.
Whether he's taking on guys or scoring nice goals, so I'm excited for him. I just like the last year we've just been signing that type of player. Like we've been signing the Felixes, we've been signing the Mudriks,
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
wingers and attacking players, right? But I feel like he should be starting every game, in my opinion, especially if he starts on the right foot.
Especially, yeah, yeah. Especially if he starts playing good. Yeah, you're right.
Obviously, playing in the Prem, like there's always everyone always said like, oh, you start like starting off in the Prem is always tough, but we'll see.
Uh-huh.
Haaland could do it.
And then we also have Lukaku, right?
Yeah. So
So
what's his situation? I'm actually not too sure because you just said
so
he's linked to
pretty
Milan, but he obviously has this loan
yeah.
thing
So
going
he
on.
has his loan at Inter that is running out at the end of June. and obviously he wants to stay in on Inter. Inter want to keep him. They're just trying to find like the right formula to put together a contract for him. Chelsea want close to 40 million. They don't want to do swaps. They don't want to do much of that stuff. They just want cash and that's it. They're not looking for
Okay.
stories. They don't want a loan to buy. They want straight cash.
Yeah.
And
Just end this nonsense pretty much.
because Inter want to do like a loan to buy type of thing. Because they can't spend money unless they sell players. That's like their philosophy for this transfer market. They
Okay.
can only buy if they sell. So if they sell Brozovic, which we're gonna talk about soon,
Yeah.
they can bring in Lukaku. If they sell Brozovic, they can bring in Frattesi. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they
Also, I
can't.
he doesn't want to go to Saudi. Like that was a link that he had, but he like shut that down
He
like
doesn't want to go to
immediately.
Saudi.
We'll talk
Milan
about
is
Saudi in a bit.
Milan is an option for him, but I feel like there might be more teams that are gonna come out and want him because yeah, Lukaku turns into Lukaka sometimes,
Yeah.
but he had a really good end of the season. He had the most goals out of any player in like the last 10 games of the season. He
Oh
was
wow.
really picking, yeah. So
He
he
does
he was,
have those moments where
he
like
was doing really good because
before he signed to Chelsea, he was like one of the best strikers in the world.
and he and on Inter last season. On Inter, he was so good. Sorry,
Yeah.
not last season, the season before, the
Yeah,
one
before
where
that.
they
Yeah.
won the Scudetto. He was him and Lautaro Martinez, but mainly him. He was unstoppable. Dude, I remember watching every single Inter game. This guy would score every game, and he looked unstoppable. You couldn't take the ball off of his feet.
What happened to him?
When he started charging at the net, like he's gone.
That's it.
Pushing everyone off the ball. He shoots from like out of the box and somehow he scores. He scores like crazy goals every game. I was in shock. Whenever we had to play Inter, I was scared to death.
He also has sneaky good feet.
He
Like
does.
he looks like this lump on a log, and it
The
looks like he's
thing
gonna trip
is,
over his feet, but he can move.
he's that player that's like that works on motivation. If he's not motivated, if he's not in a good like
Yeah,
mental state,
that's
he's
true.
gonna get injuries. He's not gonna get playing time. He's gonna struggle
And
with
we
his
saw that at Chelsea when he
yeah.
was like, first of all, like in the press conferences, like, first of all, congrats to Inter. Like while he's at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right about that. It's about like what his mental state is and how he plays.
I think if Lukaku is like at the top of his mental state, he can be like a crucial like top class player.
He can, yeah.
If he's struggling mentally, he's gonna turn into Lukaka. There's two versions, Lukaku and Lukaka.
Never in between. Never in
No,
between.
no. He's never an average player. He's either really good or really bad.
Never.
So
All
yeah,
right.
there's that. And then what needs to be changed? What's going wrong with them? What I mean,
Yeah.
you already touched on that a little, but like what's like the main thing you would change with this Chelsea team that you think would help you guys?
We just gotta refresh everything. Like
Mhm.
we need to start off on a new foot. Like I mean, pretty much last season, we just went into the year after we won the Champions League. Yeah. Like
Mhm.
I don't know what happened. Like Tuchel kind of slowed down from last year, but we weren't in trouble. We weren't in panic mode,
Mhm.
but Bowley was. And then fired him. And then Potter comes in. He was a good coach for Brighton. Then he comes here, doesn't do well, and now season's over at this point. So I think like this is great actually. Like a fresh, hope everything goes well. Like let's just hope for a Champions League spot. The only thing I would change that probably can't change is the owner. Like that's what I would change. Ever since the owner's changed from Abramovich, it's just been chaos. So
Yeah.
that would be one thing I can change, but that probably won't change. So that's my
It's
fantasy.
just like it's kind of like the Milan situation. Like we
Yeah,
just
kind
want
of.
these things to happen, but we just know they're never gonna change
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
unless there's a miracle. But yeah,
I'm
um,
excited for Nkunku, and let's just hope to make top four. Hope.
sounds good. Sounds good. And that brings us to the end of our discussion pretty much. We just wanted to take time in this episode to talk about like me and Andre's team and what's going on with that, because we knew it would have been a way longer discussion.
There was also a lot that was said too.
There is so much to cover still, and we will make another episode in the following days that we'll make one tomorrow, which will get released a few days after this one.
Yeah.
So it's just more content for you guys. And yeah, we just wanted to keep the focus of this episode on our team so that, you know, it would first of all be more organized, but also we would have like enough time to talk about everything.
We don't
Because
want to
obviously
skim through stuff. We want to do it
we're
properly.
gonna have so much more to talk about when it comes to our teams, but yeah, look out for that episode, which will come out probably right after this one,
Yeah.
if not 1 or 2 days after.
We'll be talking about other clubs in Europe pretty much, and
Yeah,
other
there's still
signings
so
that
much to
happened.
cover.
And
So
so yeah,
much.
and a lot of talk about Saudi because that's a topic now.
Yeah, that's become a big topic. So
Yeah.
yeah, we just wanted to let you guys know what's happening before we sign off. We don't want to leave you guys in the dark because we did promise to talk about other players and other teams, and
Yeah.
that's what we will be doing. So look out for that. And yeah, it's been another great episode. I had lots of fun this episode.
Yeah, me too.
Always like it when we have these long discussions,
Yeah.
passionate discussions.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys like it too. So yeah, it's been another great episode. Thank you guys for listening.
Hopefully they can appreciate the video now. I like it on
Yeah,
video.
we
So
wanna
much
keep
better.
it on video. Yeah, it's way better.
All
But yeah,
right.
thank you guys so much for listening. And we'll catch you guys next time.
All
It's been a
right. Thank
nice
you guys for
episode.
listening. Bye bye.